Hi, I'm Jessie from Pitch, and I'm here to help you succeed in fundraising. Whether you're just starting out or are a seasoned pro, we hope you'll find these 7 tips helpful for improving your pitch. In this video, we'll be discussing tips like knowing why you're raising investment capital and why now, understanding the landscape that you're raising in, the 3 questions you should be able to answer about your audience before going into any pitch, having the data to back it all up, creating unique pitches, practicing and tightening your story, and of course, presenting with the KISS method. Before you get started, be sure to ask yourself, do I know why I'm starting to build this pitch deck or why I need to raise this money? Most likely, your goal is to achieve rapid growth. And to achieve that growth, entrepreneurs normally need access to capital. Whether to grow the team or for product development or customer acquisition, it all takes resources. But be sure to think strategically about whether or not you need that investment and whether investment capital is the right move for your business. Why are you looking for this type of investment and why now? If you definitely need this infusion of capital, it's also important to keep in mind that venture capital is just one way to access it. Companies can also find alternative ways of funding growth, such as bootstrapping, meaning using your own money, taking out a loan, applying for institutional funding like grants, or even crowdfunding an investment. Think about what you're trying to achieve, how much money you'll need to get there, and what involvement you're looking for from your backers. This will all help you come to the conclusion of the best next step for you and your growing business. If you do decide that venture funding is for you, you'll need to have a concrete product roadmap and go-to-market strategy to justify the amount you're raising from investors. You'll also need to be able to show how investment will fuel your growth and ultimately business value. All of this should be based on the current landscape and general attitude towards investing at the time of raising. This will impact things like how you approach your valuation and how you project growth rates versus what resources will need to be invested to get you there. When the markets are good and conditions are favorable, it may be easier to raise money based on less developed ideas. However, when things take a turn, founders should be prepared to present an ironclad business case for investment required. It's also important to understand which investors focus on your sector and your company stage. You should be aligning each pitch with each investor's investment thesis. Startups can and should choose which investors they approach for funding, focusing on the ones that are relevant to your business and aligned with your vision. This will set your company up for success long after you close your first round. Start your pitch building process with 1 who and 2 whys. That is, who is the investor audience that you're delivering your pitch to? Why are you interested in working with them? And why should they be interested in working with you or investing in your business idea? Starting with these questions lets you build the business case for your product and structure your message for the pitch you'll be delivering. This creates a logical narrative for investors to follow and allows you to tailor your pitch to each opportunity. After you've put together a logical story outline for your deck, it's time to fill in the blanks with data. This is where you'll need to get input from your co-founders or wider leadership team. Specifically, that might mean obtaining revenue information, actual and projected, from your CFO, your go-to-market strategy from your CMO, and input from your CTO or CPO about product roadmap and strategy. You'll want to narrow down your points to emphasize the key messages and KPIs relevant to the story you're crafting in your pitch deck. Make sure you have evidence for each aspect of this, from financials to product differentiation. For example, share relevant user behavior data and explain how it informs your product development strategy and vision. It's also a good idea to lay out revenue metrics and MRR or ARR milestones if you're on track to reaching them. While investors expect business and financial projections to be bullish, make sure your information remains grounded so you can back up your projections. If you're already executing a go-to-market strategy, build Google Analytics or ChartMogul integrations directly into your main slide deck so you can be sure that you're using the latest number as you talk with investors. Fundraising is a full-time and often very stressful job. To help keep everything on track, it's crucial to stay organized and have the right materials in hand as you go from meeting to meeting. We recommend that you start by creating a single, polished source deck that can be customized to convince every new investor. The source deck, foundation, single source of truth, whatever you want to call it, should serve as a presentation aid that can be customized. This will also work as a standalone file that tells your company's story when shared. Be sure to know if the deck you're building is going to be read only or if you need to add a voiceover. This will change what you share with your investors. It's best to have a version with a recorded voiceover handy if you do plan to do any sharing of decks asynchronously. With Pitch, you can share a pre-recorded version of your pitch using video recordings and create a tailored deck for each investor you pitch to. Save all your decks into one dedicated folder so they're easy to find. After your presentation, you can also share that specific deck with a link to allow an investor to review the slides and leave comments. This will enable you to keep track of how investors are interacting with your deck and optimize them on the fly. Every presentation begins and ends with a good story. After you've put together your slides, added your essential data, team information, growth strategy, and all the other key components mentioned, it's time to take a step back. As you put those finishing touches on your deck, be sure to check whether your story still seems exciting and easy to follow. The key to ensuring that is practice. Practice, 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 and more practice. Spend as much time on your script as you have on your slides. Practice in front of the mirror, in front of your team, your friends, and your family before you get on that first call with investors. Practicing delivery of the deck and the specific investor decks before your meetings will help increase your confidence and identify which areas require tightening. To maximize your chances of having a successful pitch, start those conversations early. While you should formally begin pitching to investors only after your slides are polished, getting to know your audience, recruiting mentors, and practicing before you really start to fundraising will help you set you up for success. The more feedback you can get, the better. This is sure to help with the confidence that's key for fundraising. Going through the ringer early on means that you'll be better prepared to face the tough questions and awkward situations in the future. One of my all-time favorite guiding acronyms, KISS, or Keep It Simple, Stupid. The best decks aren't too long, they're just long enough to explain the how of the technology or product. Use the KISS approach to keep things simple and focused on your business story. Choose words that are easy to pronounce when you explain your product, and use slides that are either static or embed videos directly so that you keep your presentation flow simple, straightforward, and avoid any technical issues. Today, many investors invite entrepreneurs to do their first pitch over a video call. So familiarize yourself with the video call, shortcuts, and technology to give your audience a smooth view once you get into it. Remember that it's not necessary to answer every question in your first meeting. Your initial pitch to investors is about instilling confidence in your team and your business potential. Good investors will do their due diligence and dig deeper after. So for now, focus on selling your business ideas so that they'll want to continue the conversation after your first presentation. The key to a convincing pitch is a coherent story backed by data, told in a clear and authentic voice that you happen to have simplified through plenty of practice. Think about how you can make the pitch perfect for the people that you're pitching to, and keep your message and your slides distilled to present a crystal clear pitch that anyone can follow. And remember these 7 tips, and don't be afraid to ask for help. Your pitch is a critical component of your fundraising. And if you're looking for inspiration, check out the slides Pitch used to raise $85 million for our Series B round linked below. We kept the story simple with clean visuals that convey the market potential for the problem Pitch is solving, creating and distributing presentations. The short set of slides illustrates how Pitch works and its unique value in the world. Finally, you'll see that the story concludes by showing which customers and investors have already joined us on our journey. There you have it. I hope you found this video useful. If you'd like to learn more, I've linked the full guide in our description below. And if you have any other tips that you think might be helpful for prospective pitchers to keep in mind, drop them in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. One more thing. If you haven't already, be sure to sign up for a free pitch account to find inspiration in our beautiful pitch deck templates and start using our features purpose-built for pitching investors. Good luck and have fun.